Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping Song of Ice and Fire, Chronicles of House Weirlight. It's House Weirlight, everybody! Hey!
We got a fancy new overlay because we got new names.
Indeed. Starring...
What they said.
That's copyrighted.
I only did 2 seconds.
Bop, bada, doop, bop. There it is.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Reverse it.
All right, so welcome back. We are very excited because we are moving into our sort of next gauntlet. Our sort of, second season, but it's third season, sort of. Like it's like season 1 and 2 were part 1s and part 2s. Now we're into kind of a new story.
Birthday was its own season altogether. That was a full mess.
Yeah, a mess for some. But we're here and we're ready to get kind of into the new part of the story. Obviously, same characters and all that good stuff. And we are going to be moving forward quite a few years. Around 2.5-ish years. We're still going to play it a little loosey-goosey in time frame because, like, yeah, why not? So, you know, we're leading up to those 2 years. We're going to be doing sort of some basic roles, essentially housekeeping, but in-game RP housekeeping, essentially. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a little different than usual today, but I wanted everybody to see this because it's just, I think it'll be fun. So before we get into that, right, we definitely need to say goodbye to House Weirlight's favored son, Garrick.
It's true.
Everyone's face is just immediately like, yep. So the Ralds are specifically staying a few extra days post party to because you invited them to. They're hanging out because they are going to be leaving at the end of that time with Garrick. House Weirlight's favorite son. I think undisputedly. Good boy, best boy. So I believe Tedric, you wanted to spend some of that quality time with your boy.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do you do over the course of a few days after your eldest son's birthday and the gifting of gifts like to him, and you know all that shit happened, but now it's time to say goodbye to your second son, finally doing what you never did with your first son.
Yes, I would like to definitely be a jungle gym for him.
Climb around, play with him.
Catch,
yes. Yes, medieval catch.
yes.
Catch this
Just
arrow.
throwing like an apple back and forth or whatever.
An apple, I love it. That's great. Do you go riding with him?
If he's interested in riding, yes.
Yes, he is. Yes,
It's all about him.
Things he wants to do. Yeah, I mean, he likes riding. He likes climbing. He's a young boy, right? He likes doing
Running,
all that.
jumping, climbing trees.
Yeah, all that stuff. But he also just likes seemingly spending time with you as well. You know, he doesn't really get Savas, but he wants to learn it. Is there a way you try to describe it to him that makes it seem more enticing to him?
Let's see here.
Like, it is a game that also represents like strategy and war.
Yes.
So
This game will help you in your life as you grow. It will teach you ways to communicate with others.
Like the pieces talk?
Not so much. I tell you what, though, if you're good at Savas, a lot of people will like you.
Oh, well. That does have merit.
Mm-hmm.
And the pieces don't talk.
Not that I know of, but if you keep listening, maybe they will one day.
Can I make them talk?
Certainly.
Okay. Just like yeah, he definitely seems more into that. But a big thing he wants to do with you is he just over a bit, if you're asking, you obviously do some fun stuff with him. He does specifically ask, like, he wants to, like, he wants you to teach him how to, like, fight. Now, you only have a few days, but he wants to, like, learn how to grip and just, run through the basics of, like, two-handed weapon fighting with him.
I will do so.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then I would like you...
Oh my goodness, he's taking after his pops.
Mm-hmm. So you are going to be making a... I know there's an actual thing for this. Yes. Okay. So Tedric, my man.
Yes.
To teach, you just need to make a... I think it's a cunning test, but with bonus dice equal to the skill, which I know exceeds that at this moment, but we are going to essentially allow that to be a thing.
Okay. So equal to fighting.
Well, equal to, it would be your long blade.
Okay, gotcha. Equal to the bonus dice.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. You can also actually hold on. I think you can also substitute. No. Oh, that's a different thing. No, cunning. It'd be cunning.
Okay. Here we go.
11. Yeah. And because it's your son, you get the +2. So yes, that's a 12. So that's great. Yeah, you spend the next few days just having this big, very heavy wooden thing, the wooden sword essentially, that's essentially made to be heavier than a real one. Mm-hmm. And you essentially just teach him grip, teach him like basic stances. It takes him a bit, but Garrick is doing what Garrick has never been very good at, which is staying still and listening. He is usually not... He gets very easily distracted. He gets bored very quickly with things. Like, even learning Savas only really went an hour, if that. And then he was just like, well, that was neat. Lunch. And but this, it's seemingly... He's listening to you. And you've made some kind of connection with him where whatever you're explaining and the way you're doing it and the way you're just giving your full attention to him, he seems to be taking it, if not seriously, he's just like, it's working. You're actually teaching him and he's listening. The TN was 9 for him to get him to pay attention. So you do it. And he's fully listening, and you think he's got like a good grasp on like how to properly hold it and swing it without it flying out of his hands. That's basically
That's
all.
the important part.
Yeah, that's all you're basically able to sort of show him. And it seems like he gets a handle of it, sort of. And like Garrick has been being taught to fight by Cedric since he was like 10. And that again, his lessons are like all over the place schedule wise because he's very. Wait, you found out at once you thought he was kind of rebellious, but he's not rebellious. He just like forgets and just kind of does other stuff. Yeah, he just other things occupy his time, and sometimes he's hard to find. And Cedric actually has other duties and stuff, right?
Mhm.
And anytime Nymora has tried to teach him, he just gets really distracted by the stick he's holding, and more chases like birds with it. He's just like, yes. And it's not because Nymora and Cedric are bad teachers. They're like Nymora's like we're pretty good, and Cedric is like he's a drill instructor, right? That's like his entire strength. It's just that Garrick has never. It's just not who Garrick is, right? But he is.
They never
his
found a way
training
to
style.
connect to him.
Yeah,
It's just the temptation of the stick, man. It's just
Yeah,
the
it's
temptation
true.
of the stick.
Listen, you have a big stick, and you're just like, oh.
Gonna
You're a
hit
kid,
things
man.
with
That's
it.
everything.
Birds.
Yeah, that's everything, man. But it seems like this attention you've got garnered from your son, and Garrick afterwards, he thanks you. He's just like thanks. He goes, thanks, Father. That's what I really wanted.
I'll kneel down on the ground and put my arms around him and give him a big hug.
You don't really have to. He's like 5'6".
Oh, holy crap! I forgot exactly how big this kid is.
Yeah, he's the same height as Mariella.
He's my size.
Yeah,
Oh God!
and he's like 3 years, just
Mhm.
around 3-4 years
I'm so
younger.
sorry
So
for Vivian.
he was a big-headed baby.
I'll
He's
give him a hug.
got that Weirlight big head.
Child
you
weighed
get-
12 pounds when he was born.
Very much so. You give him a hug, and he gives you a really tight, big hug. And you then are kind of all at the receiving hall, where everyone is sort of gathering to say goodbye to Garrick. Henrik and Tiedric don't really have to say goodbye to him yet because as the Lord and Heir, they are going to escort Lord Rald to the edge of their land, as is custom. I guess, especially if you're saying goodbye to your brother and your son. So you're suited up, armored, ready. It's just a formality, but interesting times. So you guys are kind of ready, but everyone else is kind of gathered in the hall to say goodbye to Garrick. And Vivian, you're looking at Garrick, and Garrick is wearing essentially some lamellar. He's wearing essentially this kind of young page boy's armor. Essentially, it's what a squire would wear.
Let me keep it together.
And he's got a little shield, and it's got the two Weirlight symbols, one in the corner and one in the bottom right, to show he's the second son. And he's just standing there. He's got gloves on for the first time in his entire life. He keeps flexing his hands because it's weird. It's weird, but he doesn't dislike the sensation. It's just different.
It's foreign.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
gosh. Okay.
And he's standing there. His hair literally looks different. It's been brushed and parted down, and it's been.
I've never
moved
seen him so
slightly.
clean in my entire life.
Kind of, yeah.
His
You have
entire life.
once, but then you turn and you look back and he's completely messed up.
God damn it, yeah.
And he's
The
just halfway at a
longest-
window,
All right.
Go. Okay.
and he's kind of just looking at everyone. The Ralds are behind him, and on left and right is Tiedrick and Henrik. And so Thorsten, Mariella, Clarissa, and Vivienne, you're all kind of gathered standing there, along with like Cedric, Nymora, and everyone else. You're all there to say bye.
Nymora is supported by 2 people.
Yeah, you're able like you're like kind of leaning heavily like on they didn't really have crutches, but like it's essentially like cane essentially. And so you can say goodbye, and Thorsten cleared that like, yeah, you're good enough to like come downstairs, be carried downstairs, and say goodbye.
Yeah.
So I just want to go to and be like, okay, so if you're gonna climb towers, be safe. Listen to Cassandra and Lord Rold. So I'm just gonna kiss his face, but like too many times.
He's like, Mom.
You're right. You're right.
He's like, Mother, I'll be okay. And like, I mean, I don't want to explain climbing to you, but like, okay, sure.
Fine. Of course, I'm ignorant in the ways of climbing, so thank you.
But yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do.
And have fun. Meet other boys your age.
I'm definitely excited to make friends for sure.
Yes, you do that.
I do. I do hope they are fun, and if not, I'll just make them fun.
Oh, I'm going to miss you so much.
I'll miss you too.
Oh, we'll just kiss his face again.
He's just like,
I'll go.
and he'll like, but he will like hug you briefly.
Okay.
And it's like he steps up to you, Mariella, and he's just like, okay, so I guess I'm going on ahead first.
Well, you do have further to go than me.
Nods. Yeah, I guess.
But I hear at least you have some very interesting eagles and things up where you're headed.
I am interested to see the different monsters they have up there. I've heard they got good monsters.
Of course, you're gonna slay them all. You've got to show up Nymora, who got that shadow cat. So.
Well, I mean, maybe. I'll just like watch them for a bit, learn their strengths and weaknesses. It's like not a big deal. I don't want to talk about it, but
maybe you could choose one to tame and then show it off because Henry.
Probably. But we'll see what happens. But I want you to do. I hope you have fun where you're going. And I know we're supposed to do stuff, and I hope you get to do your stuff.
I hope so too. I think she kind of like puts a hand on his cheek, and it's like, you're gonna do us proud.
He smiles like real big at that, and he'll hug you.
Yeah, I accept it.
He says like, while he's hugging you, he just says like, "Well, I'm already proud of you."
Who knows? Maybe you come back and you'll meet me at Savas and everything like that. I heard you had time with Father. And like kind of like do like a small like back rub before like the hug breaks.
Yeah. He goes over to Tisea, and he's like, so I think you're gonna have to get like a real horse.
The Empress horse.
And she's like, I suppose I will.
Oh.
And he's like, you gonna miss me? And she's like, I mean, I suppose there will be days. And she just like looks off, and she's like not really directly looking at him. And he's like, all right, well, I'm off then. And she's like, good luck. And then he like, Garrett goes, okay. And he just like, just, passed. And then Tasea's like, okay. And she's just like,
Oh.
her body language is very guarded. And she's just like looking down. Yeah. And comes up to you, Clarissa.
I'll say,
yeah.
since we walked in, Clary's
Yeah.
had Birch scruffed next to her because they're play buddies, so he thinks he's going to play with Garrick, and she's like, no, you have to stay here, and like has him scruffed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just kind of smiles and looks up at you, Clarissa. And he goes, and he just looks, he's trying to think of words, and he goes, hey, thank you for all you do. I know when you show up, my mother and Sissy and all the others, they tend to smile more and calm down. So thank you. And I sometimes see that there's not a lot of people who do that for you. The window into your office is like a really good climbing spot. So, but obviously you got someone because you got all those flowers in there now. So.
He looks up at him actually, and she just says, "Thank you, my lord. Congratulations on your new post, I suppose."
You put your hand out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he shakes it and he goes, "Oh, can I hug you?"
I'll tell you what, just this once, all right?
He like nods, and he hugs you, and it's warm and strong.
Yeah, she like pets his head a little bit because this is the first Weirlight child she was there for the birth of. Like she's seen Garrick all the way through. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he gives that hug, and then he gets fully on his knees, and he looks at Birch. Birch is just like, and just starts licking his face. And Garrick at first laughs, but then like goes a little serious. Birch is still licking his face, but and he's just like, he just takes Birch's face, and he just like presses his head against theirs. And they just like look into each other's eyes, and then he just sort of like hugs him, and then Birch like immediately rears up and like puts his paws onto Garrick, and Garrick falls over with like Birch on him, and then Garrick laughs and then stands up and then like gives a lot of scritches to Birch. He doesn't say anything.
Everything is said, I'm told.
Mm-hmm. Thorsten, you lifted Say up on your shoulders. He kind of looks to you and he goes, well, Uncle Maester Thorsten.
Accurate.
Very.
Looks like you're gonna have to find someone else to patch up from now on. I know you're going to be a little lost, and without having to look out after me, but you're strong. You'll find something.
And I go in to give him a hug, and as I do, I whisper into his ear, remember to always keep your mind open to learning new things.
And he goes, you know, I think I'm gonna listen to you this time.
Hey.
one.
This
This
one time.
time. Yep. He goes, then he walks up to you, Namora,
Mm-hmm.
and he gives you. How tall are you? You're like what?
I
5?
am 5'11", I believe.
Yeah. So he looks up at you and he gives a big smile,
Mhm.
and he goes, "Hi, Namora."
Hello there, my Lord Garrick. I am thinking that your uncle is not going to need to look very long for people to patch up, I will say.
I appreciate that. Like you're filling a hole, and it means a lot.
Just doing my duty.
He then goes up and hugs you, and it like you're like ah,
ow, ow.
knife wounds, and he like stops, and then he just like
A little bit gentler.
yeah, a little bit gentler, and then he's just like, and he just whispers, he goes, like, thanks for saving my sister.
Alright. You be a good boy, okay?
Like, I think he like nods.
You make your family
Go-
proud.
Mhm.
Thank
I'm
you,
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't pay more attention in our stick lessons.
Not everybody is cut out for the spear. It looks like you're just going to be a swordsman like your father.
Maybe.
What can I do?
Like, well, I just, I was younger and I didn't know. And...
This was a month ago.
Yes. No. Accurate.
I'm older now, so
This was a
More
month
mat-
ago. This happened.
I'm more mature now. It's been a whole month. Now.
Mm-hmm.
As I look down him and look at him in the eye and say, if you don't want to use swords, you will find something that speaks to you. I have faith in that.
Hmm.
It's okay to not use swords. It's okay to not fight at all.
Nods. Like, well, I have faith in you. So.
Just almost immediately tearing up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in horrible pain and I'm more than a little bit high on poppies.
Mhm. He goes, he says kind of quietly, he's like, I sometimes worry about everything that's going on. And, I see more than people can think I do, but I don't know. I now know that when I do worry, I can think of you. And he just smiles. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tears.
Yep. Kind of goes up. It says goodbye to Cedric, and he goes, like, listen to your instructions, listen to them well, and know that Lord Rold will beat you into the dirt when you don't listen. He goes, yeah, you told me.
All right.
I think
What's
good.
you too?
You're a strong. I think you're a strong lad, and you've got a head for this. Know that. It goes, okay. Miss you, like, bye. And he puts a hand out to a thing, and then Garrett just hugs him, and he's just like, pat.
Words aren't cut out for physical contact.
A singular pat. Just one.
Yes.
Yep. And then he goes up to Nero, I think Nero, and he gives him a salute, and he goes, sir. And he goes, Captain. It's something unknown or unsaid is between them.
A whole connection we don't know about. All right.
He goes, I'll miss you during the night watch. He goes, I think, well, you're gonna have to find someone else to be your eye. And
What the fuck? What?
Like what?
And then he goes, it's been an honor. And they both salute each other again.
Don't know.
Yep. And then Garrett turns to Richard and Cassandra, and then Tiedrick and Henrik, and goes, "Okay." And he goes, "Oh, wait," and he just runs back and just runs in between you guys, back to kind of behind everyone, where sitting in the same room is Septim Myrtle holding Velena and Philippa, and he just runs up and he gives them a quick kiss on both the heads. Yep.
Such a sweet, precious boy.
And then turns around and leaves. And so Richard kind of looks to you two and nods, and kind of looks to you all and, gives a bow. And they're leaving to go to as they exit the door, Thorsten, Tisea immediately scrambles off your back and goes, "Wait!" and just starts running.
That's gonna happen.
And just starts running and kind of runs through the door. And Garrick is like about to hop on his horse and turns around and sees Tisea, of course, Henrik and Tiedrick. You see this much more clearly because you're right there. And she just is running. And Tisea, will run and stuff, but usually she always tries to make this demeanor of like Vivian, right? She tries to walk with elegance as much as an 8-year-old can. But this time she's just full sprinting, not caring about her dress. And she just runs up and hugs Garrick, and Garrick hugs her back and kind of spins her in a circle, and she's crying and just starting to say all these things, and it's not coming across clearly, but Garrick is just smiling and nodding. I think maybe he understands. He goes, yeah, and he's just like, "Will you write me?" He goes, "Well, since you asked, yeah." He goes, "You better." Okay. There won't be very good, but I was like, "Well, of course not. I'm much better at you than that." He just nods. And he's been holding her up the whole time they've been talking because he's so much taller than her. And then he puts her back down. And then he takes him about 2 or 3 tries, but he gets up on the horse. And you guys ride out of your onto the edge of your lands. And as you get to the edge of the lands, the rolled procession passes, and then you're sort of left there, Henrik and Tiedrick staring at Garrick on the other side of the border of the Redlands. And he's just kind of staring at you two.
I will approach him,
pull
a little bag out of my pouch, and hand him a napkin of 5 assorted tarts.
Oh.
Yeah, he takes them and goes, and he looks up and smiles, and there's the hint of actual water at the edge of his eyes when he just sees that and looks up at you, and he goes, "Thank you, Father."
You're welcome, son.
Puts him in his bag. And he looks over at you, Henrik. And then he just kind of goes, "Hey."
There. I'm not worried about you. Oh, hold up. I think Aaron lost my camera real quick. Are you good?
No.
Oh, no. I don't have to worry about you. Make the best of any situation, but this is a strong Stronger than me. Too great.
Yeah, he comes over and hugs you, and he goes, and Garrick sounds like a little more serious than he was kind of talking to everyone else, and he kind of just goes, I swear, brother, that I'm going to become a knight that can be useful to you and the family. I swear. And he's still just hugging you as he says that.
I'm just like hugging him back and like, it's like in like whispering in his ear as I'm holding him. It's like, I know you will. The best of us. It'll be okay. And just hug him one more time real tightly, just like that.
Yeah.
And
brother hugs, yep. And he then gets, looks over at you, T-Jig, and he goes, I think I'm gonna make you proud, Father.
Oh my god.
A tear will shed at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll walk over to him and put my hand on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You already have. And I will hug him.
Yep. He hugs you back.
Clank, clank.
Mm-hmm. Yep, clank, clank.
clank, 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 clank.
And then you hear, you just hear Garrick from Richard looking back, and he nods and climbs up on his horse and kind of breathes out, and he then rears his horse around and rides off after them. And Richard locks eyes with you, Tidrick, and just nods to you, and yeah. Yep. And Garrick is gone. And hopefully at one point in the future we will see him again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I hope not. Done, but
Yeah, no.
We're leaving off on a somber tune, but not on like a bad
Not a
one.
for yeah.
No,
not
no,
a
no,
forever.
No,
Going
he's
to,
gonna come
yeah.
back. He's gonna be super
Happy
badass,
sad.
and he's gonna have that eagle, and
Very
yeah.
melancholic for sure.
Mhm.
It's gonna be okay.
All right. Yeah, so excellently done. So 2 years are about to go by after we say goodbye to Garrick. The next big event that happens is Mariella saying goodbye goodbye to the family. Before we can do a brief goodbye scene with Mariella. Before we do that, however, Mariella, I would like you to make a fortune roll.
Oh, lovely.
Question, storyteller.
Yes.
I have the benefit of wealthy,
Mhm.
which I can add to my own personal coffers with each fortune roll. Now, are we only doing this for my like my fortune roll, or like when we just do the fortune roll?
Yeah, so we're just going to handle that as sort of like a tertiary thing. This is more of a story thing we're kind of going to be doing at the moment that adds mechanics. Yeah, your if you want, instead we can do a wealthy roll with just yours, or we can sort of forgo that roll. And if you want, you can just if you don't care about your personal finances, you can we can just straight add 1 to the wealth of the family.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Because time goes on.
Understood.
So is that cool with you?
Yeah, if everyone doesn't mind that I do that.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't see how that hurts us in general.
Yeah, I mean, make the house richer. Like I don't. Who would be opposed? We can, of course. That doesn't mean you don't have any personal finances. That's just
I understand.
The house's money is your money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, great question. So, Mariella, I would like you to make a House Fortunes roll, though it's
Lovely.
less a house roll and more a personal fortunes
Personal
roll.
fortune. Lovely. Okay, so it's status and stewardship.
You
Okay,
got
I
it.
do not have stewardship.
That's okay.
And then we're also adding like all of the normal bonus stuff. It's not going to be a flat number. Or is it just going to be a flat number?
The normal bonus stuff? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
like the normal house, like because we've got like the
Oh,
extra
yes,
stuff.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, no, that. So, I mean, we're playing it a little faster and looser because it's more about personal things, but
Yeah, that's fine.
no, yeah.
Okay. A 20
20.
plus.
Excellent. A
whatever.
blessing.
Sweet.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank God.
A blessing. Excellent. So, little shorter than Garrick's, but just because we won't be saying actually goodbye to Mariella, because we'll still be following Mariella's story wholeheartedly.
Not getting rid of me yet.
Nope. But it will be the last time some of these characters see each other for a good amount of time. But social events still happen and you will run into each other. It won't be as if, like, you know, your family lives in the north and you've sent your daughter to the south kind of situation. She's literally down the road. Mariella, all of your things are packed away due to the nature of Highgarden, and you aren't really going to be having a normal maidenhood. Most maidens will start at a much lower position. Yours is sort of a formal maidenhood, like essentially it's a one for more prestigious girls to more just learn more about court, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be like a full handmaiden. There will be those also attending, but you were more almost like you're a little higher. You're a higher standard. Like you're not going to be,
I'm that weird hybrid of handmaiden and house guest.
Like a lady's maid almost?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're essentially a little bit higher than a lady's maid.
Well, I'm
because
coming
of
with
your
Constance too, so it's like.
Well,
It is a
right,
lady's
well,
maid,
right,
so-
but Constance is your
Yep.
Is your handmaiden, right?
Yep.
And as you will be a lady's maid to thing. So yeah, that's kind of the situation you're at, right? Like you're doing Marjorie's hair while she's doing your hair.
We're gonna be the chain.
Yes.
Train.
Exactly, right? And it's also more about you learning politics and court and how the court works, essentially.
Yeah.
As you will be attending the Highgarden Court. It'll be super fun. So all of your things are packed onto a large carriage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you just said her name and it left my brain 5
Constance?
seconds.
Constance.
Thank you. Oh my god. The only thing that's not constant is my knowledge of her name.
Nice.
So yeah, Constance is all packed up with you, along with, of course, a contingency of Highgarden guards have come to escort you there. Anything, and Mariella's, anything you want to say to certain characters, Mariella, and characters want to say to Mariella?
I think she would probably do like rounds of goodbyes, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it probably wouldn't be as like kind of like serious in some ways as Garrick's, because Garrick is like going halfway across the continent basically.
Yep. He's going to ascend, though another. He's going to another kingdom, right? Like that's.
So essentially, yeah.
He's literally going to the opposite coast.
I am maybe like 3-4 days away, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Around there. You're probably like literally like 3 days ride.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So yeah, I'd probably go through. So it's like if anybody has specific
I see a
Things.
thing. I see some
Yeah.
people. Mhm.
I'm not sure if anybody else was raising a finger. I wasn't paying attention, but
Mhm.
You can go
I
first.
know. Thank you, Aaron. I know Clary specifically would tell you that her office is always open to Ravens should you have any questions about anything, especially politics-wise, and she asks you to keep her as informed as possible on any gossip you may come across.
Mhm.
And tells you it's been a joy teaching you what she could over the last years.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like I think kind of general acknowledgement of it. Would probably see if there's like anyone in particular to kind of like keep an eye on if there's a preference. If not, like she'll kind of keep a general eye.
You never know what's going to become important until it is, so as much as possible.
Yeah. Also, this is also a chance for everyone. I just remind, say goodbye to Naimora as well because she is going with.
She's coming with.
She got
Yes.
guard. Good. Also, Allison is there. She's.
Right.
Alyssa. Alyssa's coming with us.
I said Allison, didn't I?
Yeah,
I
you
meant
did.
Alyssa, with a Y.
He's
Fantasy.
also here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I at least would want to say goodbye to Henrik and to Clarissa.
Mhm.
So
Of course.
to
Say goodbye. No more.
yeah, basically to tell Henrik that I don't know what happened at the party. Not entirely, but you're smart. And you're going to be a good lord. And I need you to keep up on your practicing with your spear work and with your sword work. Because it's only going to get harder from here. Things are up to you now. You're a man. Comes with responsibility.
I'm more and more aware of that. I know the place you're going to won't be easy for my sister and especially for you. But I know you'll take care of her. That's not what I'm worried about. Just that job too.
Things will be all right. I'll keep her safe, I promise. My lord.
Sure, no more.
And then, are we all like? Imagine we're all like gather. Everyone's seeing.
Yeah,
Mariella
people-
up. Same
People
idea.
are people are gathering.
We'll just
Yeah.
have.
Mhm.
You
Well,
don't have
so-
to go find everyone. Everyone's right here.
So while Mariella is probably saying goodbye to her parents, just go and stand in front of Clarissa. So it is 4 days away to Highgarden, and yet it is going to feel like a lifetime.
Try not to cross any shadow cats while you're gone.
What happened, Clary? We used to talk a lot. Now every time I look at you, there's just... You don't sleep. You barely eat. Are you going to be okay?
I'm sure I will be. But we always knew that the children would grow up and things would be different.
I suppose I didn't think that it meant things would be different between us as well. You're a good friend, Clarissa. I am going to miss you. I'll lean forward and hug her.
Yeah, she hugs you back.
Mhm.
Keep in touch. If you can.
I will. I will write.
And, since they're hugging, she just kind of in your ear goes, "Don't let those rat bastards convince you that anything is wrong with what you are and what you've done. Understood?"
It is not going to be the first time that someone has told me I have a snake in my cunt. Don't worry.
Delightful. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Hopefully. And hey, I think Jaren is going to ask you about borrowing Birch. Maybe get a litter of pups. Maybe save me one, yeah?
We will.
I'm gonna go and finish against Thorsten's urging, probably helping load things.
Mm.
Things have already been loaded. You unfortunately have to stand there.
Oh no.
But your horse is brought to you.
God,
As
getting
well,
on that's gonna be
there's-
such a bitch for you.
It's a bit stiff, but you're okay. Yep. I mean, Vivian, Tedric, is there anything you like to say to your daughter as she goes off to court? As her season begins?
Jesse, you can go first if you want.
Okay.
We're just gonna emotionally ravage Jesse.
Mariella, you've always had a very wise head on your shoulders. Don't let anything change that. Do not let them knock you down. But if they do, you get right back up. You're a Weirlight. You're my daughter.
Well, if they haven't truly taken our family words to heart, even if they draw first blood, we tend to reap glory.
And he will proceed to embrace his daughter. And she'll feel hot, wet tears on her cheeks.
I probably like look to my mother. It's like, I am so sorry. I'm sorry. It's like, I broke him. I'm sorry.
And he will, after a few moments, Teacher will pull back, holding Marielle with both arms. Do well, my daughter.
We'll definitely try.
Oh, and make sure you kick their butts at Savas.
We'll see how many of them actually play a hand at it. We'll probably turn to my mother. So strange not seeing you with words.
Isn't it, though? There's so much I want to say, but I feel as though you already know what most of it is. But foremost, I am so proud of you. I always have been. And while there are some things that perhaps I would have changed in your upbringing, seeing you now, I know you are going to shine. You were my miracle, Mariella. My firstborn. And my only purpose now is to help you achieve anything that you go after. I love you.
And I love you. Granted, I'm sure I don't show that love that often, but
Oh, please, I've given you plenty of excuses to not show it, so. Goodness.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Hmm. And I'll just hug her and kiss her forehead.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm never going to see you again. You're only down the road. So.
If anything, it gives you an excuse to go possibly visit Highgarden.
Oh, please. They wouldn't be able to handle both of us there. So.
Just imagine them trying, though.
I know.
Yeah, I think to that it's like kind of turn to the remaining siblings that are there, which I think for the most part is like Tisea and Henrik.
It's just the two of us
Yeah.
and the other babies.
Well, the other ones I have probably done like kind of like a mini holding and like just like kind of a kiss, return to the septa, and it's like kind of that's it.
Yeah, Tisea is definitely like you need to write me, and you need to write me about the dresses and the fashion, and you need to make sure to pave the way for me for when I have to go. Oh, for when I get to go, and you need to tell me about like how everything works, and again, the dresses and the food, and any new music, and just
I think
forget
during this thing, it's like Mariella kind of gets down, so then she's like at
stays
height
very short
of Tisea.
and at the very end, and then she goes, and just don't forget me.
How can I ever forget you?
I just thought I'd say it for posterior sake.
Well, I think it could also be because you had to remind Henrik and, well, not Henrik, but Garrick. But Henrik, you have to remind that I understand that you are the favorite sister. I cannot compare. I understand this, but I will write. I will tell you of what they wear. Who knows? Maybe you and Marjorie can become friends through letters as well. And that can make it even a quicker road for you if you like. And maybe, possibly, if you keep up with practicing your stitches, I can come up with another pattern. And I'll draw it out, and you can do the stitches yourself.
She nods. He goes, okay. I'm going to miss you.
Luckily, I'm not too far.
No, but you'll be farther than I'm used to you being.
So how many letters would help?
Like, just when you can. I know you're I know you're going to be busy, and I'm busy.
That's very gracious of you.
But if maybe just respond to mine.
I might even start a few of my own without even waiting for yours.
If you dine it wish.
Yeah, I think at that, like, she'll kind of bring her in for a hug.
Yeah, she hugs you tight.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Kind of release and look up at Henrik. Stand up. Still looking up because there is the few inches difference.
Yep.
The best for last. It's me the most, Mari.
We came in together.
Yeah.
Granted, I beat you out, but we came in together.
And that, I think, has set the course for most of our lives and will continue to do so.
I think it's one of the very rare times I have ever been faster than you, though.
Perhaps. You made up with it. You're better at me than most things.
Wouldn't that
Most
apply to
important
other things that
yeah.
you're better at than me? Heaven help me if I ever try to lift your sword. That would look ridiculous.
Well, take comfort in the fact that I know you'll be better than Thorsten, so I think you have that on you.
Just kind of like,
Just looking left and right. Just like, what?
I don't even think he's really paying attention.
Like a quick name, it's like those turtle heads. Like what?
Hmm?
Damn.
You're gonna have some work ahead of you.
No. I don't know what I'm gonna do that you're not here now. To tell me to not do something.
Well, as I've been continuously told, ravens are an option.
Yeah. Your writing does carry a tone of voice very well, so I'll just imagine that, and like you're here scolding me, it'll be just the same.
Well, hopefully not too much will be needed, but
I should try. I really am. Don't. Better come back, even if you're here for a while. I'm gonna miss you a lot.
yes. Constant Shadow, the one to normally assist in appeasing Thorsten when you've missed a lesson. Even when those times I'm probably that annoying little voice just behind your shoulder.
That. I'm going to miss my sister and my first friend.
Well, it's not like you're losing that. It's not that we can always walk the same path together. We have to let go of each other's hand at one point.
Give it the world. You're going first.
I'll be going first down this road. You have another one of your own, which will take work. And I suggest you do as much of it as possible. I kind of like hand on his cheek. It's like, I will help if I can in whatever it is that I might, but you'll take your own steps.
Thank you. I'm just gonna pull her in for a hug then. It'll be good there.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else to boss around with that.
We'll see how that works. I think the main thing she would probably say to Thorsten is just, please keep them in one piece.
You know me. I'll do my best.
All right.
And real quick,
Yes.
before they all take off, I'm going to walk up to Nymora and silently just hand her a small bag filled with milk of the poppy. Because I know she's going to need it.
With written instructions
Mhm.
of dosage.
Yeah.
All right.
2 doses, per day. Space them
Mm.
out 5 hours.
2
Thank
drops.
you.
X number of time. No,
'Cause
no,
I
no.
open the bag. I open the bag and I look in it and I say, "Oh, Thorsten, you shouldn't have." I give him a hug too.
And I give you a hug back.
Stay safe. Don't forget to
You
take
would-
care of yourself too, okay?
You as well.
Funny.
That's what the milk's for.
Addendum for me.
Yes.
The horse that I am taking to Highgarden is not Dune.
Oh.
I am taking Dread of Night.
You're not taking both of your horses?
Why would I take both of my horses?
Because they're your horses.
I know. This is
Remember,
my
Nymora
horse.
has
Why
issues
have
with
to-
contemplating why do I need duplicates of certain things.
Mhm.
Like, well, I'm like, okay.
Oh, we got one.
The idea is, one's for war and one's for riding.
The reasoning also is that her having a sand steed is going to be.
Oh, there's tons
Yeah.
of sand steeds.
Mhm.
They're not discriminated against in the Reach. They're highly prized.
If anything,
It-
like Mari would have offered to I'll help
Yeah.
keep up
This,
with.
this is my horse. Okay.
Well, no,
Yeah.
not like this is my horse, but it's like
Mhm.
if you only want to handle one, it's like I'll oversee this for you, and when you choose to claim it, it's your
Mhm.
horse. It's like
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
Also, of course, Cedric and any other knight is like a knight literally needs 3 horses to survive.
and then you also have Jaguar. You have
Oh,
your
yeah, I
father's
do
horse
have,
that you also won.
Yeah, you
Do
have 3
also
horses.
have that horse.
Yeah.
You have 3 horses, and every knight
Um,
specifically states you need 3 horses or you're gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
All right, then. But the one I'm going to be writing for right now, at least, is Dread.
Is Dread of Night. All right,
Mhm.
fantastic. Good to know. Yep, there is a huge train of the other horses. Who there are some who are literally Nymora. This is a little weird for you. They're being put onto this massive carriage, essentially, that is going to pull the horses, and you're just like,
What the fuck?
why? Because those horses aren't made for walking. They're made for sort of being there. Those are prize horses, and other horses are being trailed after them.
Mhm. The concept of a horse that's not meant for movement is astounding to me.
It is weird. But there it is. There they are. There they go. Birds put away, and unless there's anything that anyone else would like to say to Nymora or Mariello, they depart. Yes. Nymora, as you notice as you're leaving, Tisea is waving goodbye to you.
Mhm.
She's just like, bye, Nymora! Nymora,
Yeah,
goodbye!
I realized I was muted. I definitely wanted to say something.
Oh,
to
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Laura.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I
No,
was
100%, no.
I was like, why? It's like, am I being ignored? Or are we just
Why
trying
are
to be
people
like,
ignoring
no, I was not actually talking.
What did I do?
Yeah, I was muted too.
No problem.
Okay,
But yeah, Nymora, I don't have much force in my weak lady arm. So I will hug her though.
I was poisoned, you know.
I was poisoned, you know. But I will.
Twinsies!
Yeah, I will hug her.
Oh shit. Okay. I think that you hug me and I just go like absolutely like stock still like fuck. What do I do? I can't touch the lady. Shit. Fuck. Shit.
Thank you for protecting my children. For always protecting them. And
Relax a little bit. Okay.
I already know that you're going to watch over Mariella. So that's all I can say.
My lady, I would protect all of your children with my life. gladly, over and over again.
I realize that. Your devotion to them is out. I don't even have words for it.
Exceedingly rare to find these days.
And all
Thank you.
all I can do is thank you, my lords, and my lady, for giving me a chance when others wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. I think saving a child could warrant. I don't know. We gave Jaren his own land. I think perhaps when you return, we could consider sorting something out for you. What do you say, love?
Of course. When she returns, she will have her own bit of land.
I think up until you say that part, Naimura is just like, I'm just like looking, just like confused, and then she, oh. All right.
We won't pressure you.
Push you to accept our generous gift.
I would be honored to accept anything that my lord and lady would deign to give me. It's very generous.
It is the very least I think we can offer for saving the life of our child.
Yes. For saving the lives of all of our children. I know that without your training and Cedric's, but without yours, Henrik would not be as good as he is this day.
I would like to think that the only thing I can even take partial credit for is his skill with the plants.
Also, his dodging of different attacks. Come on.
But even that, was always going to be a talented boy,
Yeah.
a talented man.
I will give warning, Naimura. The Eden that is Highgarden. There will be those that press you, and if you are not careful, they will manipulate you. So, I have no doubt in your skill fighting anyone, but be careful. There are some who will smile at you, and you forget and we all forget ourselves in the face of people who pretend to be kind to us.
It is my plan to be alone with people as little as possible. I will be very honest with you.
Fair enough.
And
Well-
Teedrick will put out his arm.
We grasp forearms, squeeze like
yes.
men.
Indeed.
Sir Naimura.
My lord Theodric.
All right. Yeah. Before you go off, I will say, Nero, the Castellan, does a grip with you, and he goes, perhaps when you're there, show them a little what for, eh? The Castellan believes their first line of defense is a bloody hedge maze. The thing will go up the moment any invading force comes. Maybe try to show them a thing or two.
I will make sure to practice my drills in an obvious place every single day so that people will come and challenge me and I can knock them straight on their asses.
Good. Show them the strength of the Weirlight arm. And they kind of just you're like, yeah. Yep.
Grow force.
Cedric kind of grips your arm. Sir Cedric, but grips your arm and is just like, walk fucking tall, Naimura, and don't fucking die.
I don't know any other way to walk, and I will try.
Well, good
That's
enough.
all we can do.
Don't get dead.
Same to you.
And he'll just nod to you, and you're off. Yes, for sure. as they leave, Tisea does go into Thorsten's tower to like watch them as they fully leave. And Mariella is gone. Now, rush ahead. The travel to High Garden, literally no problems. Not a single one. Everything goes expertly.
That
And
is
it
a
is-
blessing.
Yeah, yes. And it is soon you see the majesty of High Garden. This utterly it's a wondrous sight. And I do believe it is sort of the first time you two have like really seen it kind of properly. There's been passings in the distance and whatnot, but there hasn't been a real genuine invitation to High Garden in quite some time. But you do see these, very like rolling French, almost like Grecian sort of Venetian hills. With these tall, trees, all leading up to these grand, yet somehow beautiful, growing fields. Almost looks like probably like vineyards, and all with instead of like stone walling them off at reaches just below hip height, all coming up to and culminating like almost like a multi-tiered cake sat upon a hill, this massive alabaster castle. Layers of green ringed garden to wall to green ringed garden to wall to green ringed garden. Wanting to fall.
Got a little excited there.
Too excited. And like multiple parapets and towers, each tower having an incredibly long billowing flag of the green and gold coming off of it. The tiled roofs of the towers and the upper keeps are all colored in gold. And the brick, though is old and ancient, is kept shining alabaster white. And you see before you in the first wall and the hill that raises above it the famous hedge maze that widely, for some reason, is believed the first line of defense for invaders, as if it's not flammable plants.
Thorns will not help.
Yeah, not particularly, but it looks real nice. And it's beautiful. You guys, of course, enter it. You pass through the sort of that's quite city, but the village that sort of surrounds it, that has actually parts of paved roads. The buildings are very well upkept, all made of stone, and look quite nice. It sort of looks like a very upper end sort of French village style. The roads are actually quite wide, though, kind of similar to those you would find in like King's Landing. And there are many people when you pass by, curtsy and bow and wave, and you're starting to realize that this is sort of where you'll be spending the next small portion of your life. Naimora, the knight that's currently escorting you. Let's see, which one is he? This knight is this is Sir Leo Beesbury.
One of these guys. Okay.
Yeah. And he's a sworn knight to High Garden. And he's immediately like, so do you need to know where like the drinking houses are?
So So I'm aware that that the Tyrells fucking hate the Dornish, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
they do.
a well-known thing.
Yeah, it's a well-known thing. They're very unsubtle about it.
All right. Okay. It's been a really long time since I've had to do this.
Though,
So,
yeah, okay, what are you doing? Yeah.
all right. Okay. I think that I can probably find them by myself.
He goes, "You sure? Sounds really big. I know some good spots that cater to the Sworn Guard. Be more friendly, anyway."
All right. You give me one or two.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so he tells you the one of the best ale houses that particularly cater to like us. He's like Sworn Knights, guards, like our people.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
are the
they-
drinks good?
He goes, "Well, yeah." We got some of the. I mean, it's made. Some of that is made is just over in that field over there. Some of the best wines and ales are kind of grown here. And he's like, it's hard to beat, the High Garden hop. And the ale house in turn is called, Swan's Pond. Yeah, the Swan's Pond is the sort of place to go. Apparently, it's called that because it was founded by a lady bastard of House Swan. Made it her own, and she pretty famous. And he's like, so that's Swan's Pond is kind of like the big drinking spot. He goes, however, if you're looking for entertainment of another sort, then you're going to want to head over to the hedge, which he tells you is from what he tells you, it's like an upper end kind of brothel. The kind they don't just let anyone in, but he's like, we're knights, so we aren't just anyone.
All right. Yeah, thanks for the tips.
Yeah, they're like, no problem. I say like, no problem. Yeah, my cousin is friends with your girl in there, so gotta look out for each other.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I really do. I feel like a fish out of fucking water here.
I mean, we're all reach blooder.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just nods. Yeah, so you go in. So Mariella, you are carted in, and you are greeted by like a welcoming procession. And they think they hope your travel was not too difficult, and they hope you find your home here, and they guide you to where your room is going to be. They move you quite high up to, in fact, the innermost part of Highgarden. And the top tier, and they move you, and you have an apartment in one of the basically inner main keep of all of Highgarden. So still definitely you're still looking at these positions of privilege. Your room is not as big as your room is in Theolden Hall. Still, the bed is the same size though. And you do have it's just your bedroom is a little more closed off, and then there's like a walkway into your small parlor where you can still entertain people who come to your room. Constance, of course, is placed in her sleeping area. Naimora, you are given an apartment. It's really, really nice.
I mean, is it close to Mariella? That's really all I
yes.
care about. Okay,
Yes,
good. Excellent.
it is close. However, it is not in the exact same block because they have a rule about knights and ladies not being in the same block.
Valid.
So it's not next door, but it's essentially the blocks next to one another, these sort of apartment blocks. You are not,
I feel like the original intentions of this rule may not apply to me. However,
Rules are rules.
They're treating you like a knight. So, so you can be close by. And of course, and they of course show you some of the, facilities. This is the dining hall where we'll eat. And of course, it's a lot bigger than Theolden Hall's dining hall. The ceiling is dozens of feet above your head. And when you just go like, oh, it just goes, oh, it just echoes forever. It's also pure white with these deep green rugs. Yes, Mariella.
I just have a random question. Who exactly is giving like this tour?
Oh, of
I'm assuming it's
course.
not a Tyrell.
No.
Exactly.
No, this is. Hold on. Thank you for. I totally forgot. This is. This is. Let's see here. Where is the thing? Yeah, this is. I'm just flipping through and not seeing him. And where is it? And
Because I'm assuming it wouldn't be like Claude. It's like it would be somebody.
no. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I have his name.
The Castellan.
No, this isn't the Castellan. This is a. This is a seneschal.
Just some guy.
I mean, kind of. Where is it? Caswell. Yes, this is Seneschal Caswell.
Could you put that into the chat so that I've got that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Caswell. This is Seneschal Caswell. He's middle-aged. He is like balding very fully all across the top and has hair coming down. Yet it still is styled in a very like fairly pleasing way. He has very like auburn hair still, no gray. He has a smile lines on his face and has a like almost like a robe, like a dressing gown of fine dark greens that are tinged slightly lighter greens. And he's sort of your attaché with getting to know the place. Okay. His rank is seneschal, which essentially is like if there was more to manage on the grounds of Theolden Hall, they would be reporting to like the steward. So like technically speaking, Clarissa doesn't have any seneschals.
Yeah,
because
so basically if we were bigger, these would be like the next rank below Clarissa.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. You technically are big enough to have seneschals, but Clarissa will not allow them because she is Clarissa. But it is a huge place, Highgarden, and it requires a lot of attention. Okay. So, yes, this is one of the many seneschals that are below their steward. So this is Caswell. They are nobles. They're just minor nobles. They show you the dining hall, which is incredibly massive and grand and could literally hold. You're like, this could probably hold the entire peerage of the Reach in here. Maybe it's an exaggeration, but still, if you're stacked on top of each other, maybe.
Volume wise, maybe not flat wise, but volume.
The volume, yes. They will, of course, will have extremely fine meals. And don't worry, you'll get your proper 7 courses. Yeah. Welcome to High Garden. Yes, every meal is a 7-course meal. Minimum.
Yeah, like every day?
Yeah, every day. 3 times a day.
Oh my god.
If Henrik knew, he'd be pissed.
And the really big thing is where you guys will be bathing is, of course, the famous High Garden bath, which is literally picture Roman royalty style open air bath surrounded by hedges, very well protected, easily gotten from the ladies' apartments. And yeah, it's where you will be bathed. They say at certain times of the year, they use a rather ingenious contraption to heat some of the baths. So no bathing in personal tubs anymore. There's these open baths that people have different schedules. You, of course, being a lady's maid to Lady Marjorie, you do not have a schedule. You may go whenever you want. Nymora, they hand you a schedule.
Nymora used to bathing by herself in a tub of cold water. Just
yeah. Yes.
Oh, holy shit! Hot water.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this? Yeah. Exactly. It is, and as you're going around Nymora, Theolden Hall is well decorated, well maintained, feels character, history, even the new parts have these trappings of wealth.
Mm-hmm. Every
room in here, you swear, if you touch anything, you'll owe someone hundreds of gold dragons.
I feel like if I took
utter opulence of any room in this place, there is a like a boudoir, your boudoir in your room, Nymora. There was literally a bowl with these like golden colored fruits, and you touch them, and they were actual gold.
I could take the sheets off of any bed in this castle, and I would not have to eat for 2 years.
You would live fairly comfortably, yes, for quite a time. And it is insane. Your family is wealthy. You know the trappings of wealth. But it is the difference between your family being the CEO of a company and your family like owning multiple conglomerates. It's like my daddy owns a company. My daddy owns 12 companies.
My daddy owns Disney.
I've never walked anywhere in my life. I took helicopters to school. Like it's that shit, right?
I feel like it's to a level where it's just like I can't even begin to acknowledge it, or else I'm just going to
be you're gonna scratch your skin off.
Yeah. It's just like the bowl full of gold fruits and just touch one. Okay, not for eating. Cool. Do other things away. Go do other things now.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it.
And the same thing with you, Mariella. Like you've been trained to have this eye. There is direct and showy opulence.
This
everywhere.
is a statement.
Oh God, yeah. No, the bath has a fountain with gems in it. Just gems. Also, at the bottom of one of the baths, just gems. Everywhere, sapphires.
What, like to stand on?
Yeah.
Ow.
Well, it's not really stand on, but like they're just kind of scattered.
They're sporadic in there, so then the water
and it's
sparkles
literally known.
More.
It is literally called the sparkling pool. If in case you need to bathe with diamonds and sapphires and rubies. It's very important. It's only certain people have access to it. Mariella, you are one of those people. Nymora, you have the right to put your name on a schedule for it.
I have a
Um,
waiting list. A waiting
yes,
list. I see.
yes.
Okay.
But you can put your name on the waiting list. That's
That's
the
the
key.
thing.
In 2 years, I may be able to look at the pool, but
Maybe once. If you're exceedingly lucky, twice.
Exactly. You are, and you're quite obviously being shown this in every, and your opening meal, right,
Mhm.
is insane, and it's utterly disgustingly opulent, and there's just gold all over your food, and just like it's the amount of wealth that are being thrown into your face is quite overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And they just walk you through facilities that you'll just kind of need to use, and where your duties will begin. You are like introduced as well near the end of the tour. You are introduced to Lady Marjorie, as we see a 8-year-old girl with shoulder length curly hair that's quite puffy, like it's quite thick, coming down. Her hair hasn't been put up in like any way, and immediately she's like Seneschal introduces you that she's walked out, and like introduce Lady Marjorie of House Tyrell, second daughter to Mace Tyrell. Yes, little known fact, Marjorie is actually the second. Is actually the second daughter. They have an older daughter named Jaina, but who cares about Jaina?
We don't speak of her.
Who cares? She's married off. She's already got shit going on.
Yeah.
She's out fighting the Horde.
She out.
Dumb, but I will accept it.
She would be part of the alliance anyway.
She's introduced to you, and you feel like, Lady Marjorie, this is your newest lady's maid and companion, Lady Mariella Weirlight. And she kind of has her hands behind her back, and she kind of looks you up and down, and as she does that, she rocks back and forth on her feet, very much like a child would.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, can you join me in my room?
Most certainly.
Yeah, so she kind of runs ahead of you into her room. And the Sentinel just nods to you and no, you're good. You got it.
I do thank him for his assistance.
When you thank him, he smiles at you and bows, as if maybe he's not ever thanked for anything he does. He's not expecting
Inner
anything.
friend, hopefully at some point.
Maybe. I will say, and of course, Naimora, you are allowed to stay right outside the apartment and look in if you want.
It's Mariella runs
Was
ahead.
Constance also with us, or not so much?
Constance is on a different tour.
Okay.
With the woman in head of the handmaidens.
Got it.
Different levels and statuses.
That's
cool. She's being walked through where they wash clothes at the moment.
Yeah. I'll post up outside of the door and just stand at attention.
And Mariella, when you walk into the room,
It's vast.
it is. It's large and vast. Think very much like Palace of Versailles, daughter of Louis XIV, personal apartment. Everything white and green and gold. And Marjorie isn't in here.
I saw her come in.
You did watch her walk in, and you've walked in, and she's not anywhere you can see.
I think the first is looking behind the door.
You look behind the door.
First is general behind the door.
She's there. And you go, "Fuh," and then she looks at you and she goes, "You're clever. I suppose we will be friends." And she skips forward, her hair bouncing. And a part of the blessing, since you immediately, instead of just calling for her, immediately found her, for the next 2 years, you and Marjorie will actually be fairly close.
Awesome.
Aww.
She will not give you. I mean, she kind of gives you trouble, but you do
It's
know.
growing pains, yes.
Yeah, she seems to want to be engaged. She tells you Lady Me is usually like when she hides, they panic. And while that's funny, she would rather them try and find her and not break down sobbing.
I'm so happy for the training that my younger siblings have given me.
Accurate.
Very.
It's not even then, it's Henrik.
That accurate. Yeah. And so with Mariella going through, you also find out some other people here. You meet members of the court. One of them are, of course, being your family's retainer's heir of Claude.
Claude, yeah.
Claude's here. He immediately starts kind of filling you in at court. What everyone's situation is, who are all the people here. We'll kind of get more into the detail of that later. But you are introduced well into court. And meet some of the other people here. And one night, I will say, coming back from like bathing to your apartment, also just leaving the apartment essentially across from you, you see Ashella.
Okay.
And yeah, she definitely like sees you and quirks an eyebrow and nods.
Nod back. Fairly unexpected to see you here. Can't say that it's unwelcome. Like kind of with like a small smile.
Yeah, she goes, I would say the same. Yeah, we both just...
No, like I feel like, would you like to join me in my sitting room at all?
She kind of like tilts her head and goes, I suppose.
Kind of bring her in and like offer like tea or whatever kind of drinks and things.
Yep, she accepts drinks.
Is this like really early in the 2-year stint, or?
Yes, this is like in your first few months.
Okay.
You find that she is here. You find out she's lady's maid to Lady Elise, the Mace's wife.
Good deal.
She goes, it is. Lady Elise has, she has very consistent activities she does. You could almost tell the time of day by her.
I can't quite say the same for Marjorie.
I have heard.
Side note, probably like within the first week or whatever of me being there, I probably would have like as a thank you for having me kind of thing, gift that hairpin that I had bought way back from the Dulvers to her.
To
Illyri. The bird one that I had bought from the Dulvers. It's like kind of like thank you for kind of having me and things like that kind of.
Yeah, she gratefully accepts it and finds it very
and they were in like the greens and golds for the Tyrellish kind of colors.
Yep, I recall. She loves it. So you are now kind of aware Ashella is here. She seems like kind of not standoffish, but she, and you invite her things, she'll talk to you, but it feels different than when she used to talk to you. Like she's just not really trying to delve any kind of deeper with you. And there is a little bit of a wall there. However, you do see her interacting with people at court, and she very much seems like herself there. Just, talking to people and laughing, and she never rejects you, and you never really see anything negative from her. But unless you do more, we don't have to talk about it now.
I think
it's just a little bit of a standoffish.
I think at some point, like with having like maybe observed within like the first like couple weeks and the change in behavior, it's like she would possibly like maybe try to get into that some more, but we don't really have to get into that now.
Yeah, no, 100%. But we can know that there are efforts being made.
Yeah.
Excellent. So far in the 2 years, Mariella, you feel like a lot that you kind of gain a good grasp of High Garden life and things. While it's not easy, you feel prepared. You definitely feel the like less privilege. Like you have so many more people just like taking care of you, and you helping out with Marjorie. You're kind of doing duties, but you did stuff with your siblings and other things like that. But you do know you really have to watch a lot more what you say openly here. Claude warns you that fairly quickly. That like say what you need with like the women, but there are times when there are interactions between the men and women at court, and the men here won't necessarily care to hear what you think, unless it's of their own style or facial features. However, Claude says he will support you and help you, and if you need points getting across to some of the more stodgier members of the court, he can aid with that. He's here to make sure the Weirlight House keeps its place, and if not, goes higher.
Yeah, it's like I think Mariella definitely goes about like kind of creating her own like little circles and things like that,
Sure.
and like presenting a good face for the house. She does send ravens to several people, keeping up correspondences.
Yes. A thing I will touch more on in a bit, but just a brief aside before we move on. But we will be fully addressing all of these concerns.
Yeah.
Over the 2 years, you see Garland quite a lot, and you notice a quite distinct change overtakes him in those 2 years. As things start to happen, and something about like the greater of the Seven Kingdoms happening, and Garland seems to be taking on more responsibility as like what a first son should be doing, but he's doing it because of
Circumstances.
Yes. And he also in the 2 years hits a growth spurt. Originally he was like a little shorter than Henrik. He is now like 6'2". And has a full trimmed beard. Yeah. His hair becomes much shorter cut, and his physical prowess jumps. And now it is very common for you to like walk through the garden halls sometimes and see him fighting 4 men simultaneously and just annihilating them.
Yeah. It's like I think maybe fairly early on, it's like she does offer, it's like if you would like to prefer to maybe also utilize Nymora, since she uses the spear more predominantly.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I think he
is my knight.
It's an alternative fight style and things like that. It's like
he seems to welcome that. Garland is also a lot more starts becoming a more direct kind of man. You also see him in armor a lot more, spending more time with like troops and knights. And he has, I think, definitely made his fondness for you known more directly. Because you've had a couple things with Garland. And there is, I think one time you're speaking at Coin, this is something he would say in these 2 years, that the flower he gave you when you first met, he goes, I didn't do that out of tradition. I had heard things about you and wanted to make a good impression.
Yeah, she's fair enough where like a blush would show kind of thing. It's like, oh god. Like,
He goes, I was less adept back then. I hope. He looks at you and smiles. But yeah, he's gone from this very kind of quieter, polite young man to a very much larger, more opinionated man. He definitely is not as afraid to express his opinion about things and how he thinks the roads are being protected, and he definitely is. He changes a bit, but you do find him still showing fondness for you. However, you do notice there are many girls that sort of use their wiles to like go on walks with Garland, but that's all they are. They're going on walks, right? And of course he's doing his duty. He's going on them.
He's a gentleman, yes.
He is. But if you apply yourself to wanting Garland to court you, you can let me know.
I shall consider this.
Yes. But things so far have gone well for you there, Mariella. As we switch over, Nymora, I would like you to make a fortunes roll.
Hello. It is stat plus stewardship, but I don't have any. I don't have any.
I understand. It's okay.
Moderately random question because I forgot to ask this. Would example anybody else? I've already rolled mine. Be able to add like a destiny point to add a bonus die to it, or are we just doing flat?
Yes.
Okay.
They can. Yeah.
Figured I'd ask.
Yeah. Normally you can't, but in this situation, I'm allowing it.
3d6. What the fuck? Hang on.
Your injuries are still applied. I believe.
But am I injured at this point?
No. You're good.
Excellent. Let's try that again.
Let's re-roll that.
7.
Okay.
A curse.
No, 7 is decline.
But it's not. Well, we're adding things.
Oh yeah, that's true. What are the extra bonuses?
Hold on. I have different bonuses.
Okay, then I won't look around.
It is okay. So that's plus total of what, 5? So 12. So
-1.
Boon.
Boon, yeah, Boon. Hey, not bad.
Hey.
Not bad, Nymora. All right, yeah. So what? I totally forgot one of the coolest parts of this. 1 second. How could Tony forget? How could Tony forget? Here we go. Before we go over, I forgot. Mariella.
Hi.
Hello. Please roll. What is it? Yes. Please roll 1d6.
1d6.
Yes, please. Okay. And then One more d6.
Be better than a 1, please. Okay. A 1 and a 4.
All right. The House Weirlight's influence increases by 1. And your wealth increases by 4.
Ah, because that's exactly what we needed.
We're going to be the next High Garden.
At what point do the Lannisters come and tell us to stop?
Quite a ways away, don't worry.
When we inform issue, thank you, but no.
No problem. Now, so that is the result of Mariella doing so well in Highgarden over those 2 years. The Weirlights are raised a little bit in the eyes of people, and also just more crop flow kind of flows to you guys due to Mariella's presence there. So things do well. Peppers!
Promote the poppies.
All right, so Naimora, Boone. So Naimora, your 2 years there, you are not as bad as you were perhaps worrying about. You do notice there are a few knights for sure that you end up having to interact with, don't really like regard you much, but you do feel this is mostly the fact that you're a woman.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
At this point.
You are sort of it's more the fact that you're a woman. Some of them are just like, yeah, okay, and don't really interact with you. There are several other knights, the fact that you have earned a sir, that they are just like, okay, cool. They still talk about the fact that you're a woman. No one just treats you like one of the knights. They still make jokes, but at least they like regard you as a fellow knight.
Listen, as long as they put a sir in front of my name, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And you do sort of kind of develop like Sir Leo Beesbury definitely is fine to hang like around you, and it seemed like a pretty cool guy. He's funny. He's got a lot of jokes. Definitely some dirty ones. So yeah, and he kind of has some knight and guard friends they're with. A group I think you kind of get to know with this Boone rating. There's a mercenary company here. That sort of are employed to sort of guard the extra lands. They're called the Emerald Axes.
Okay.
You can very easily tell who they are because of the symbol of a green hand axe on their person somewhere. They're because I imagine you would be fine interacting with mercenaries.
I was one. Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely I think would there is one of the Emerald Axons who's a little more friendly. His name is Tills, Tills. Though it's obviously not his real name, but you know, it's just
I make a bunch of jokes about tilling fields.
Oh God, yeah, that's what everyone makes that joke. And he every time he gets drunk, and you're like, well, how did you get that nickname? And it's a different story every time. Usually having to do with something with sex.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like how much are about fucking. So.
It's very easy to identify him because he has an emerald axe tattoo on his face.
Okay.
Yeah, which which again, tattoos not common in Westeros.
Facial
but he says
tattoos dangerous.
Yeah, oh, very much so. Are you kidding me? People get infected and die from them, but he's got one. It's basically like here. So he's very easy to identify. And through Tills and through Leo over the years, you of course protecting Mariella is like pretty easy. Sometimes you definitely have to make your presence known in court to be like, you can't talk to her that way. You don't say that, but you like adjusting yourself, being like, you can't speak to her. in that way. Has definitely helped Mariella. She's formed some things. You, of course, have been working closely with Allison.
Mhm.
She's been keeping an eye on a lot of stuff. And through Tills, you discover something that a ton of people don't really know about High Garden and the trade roads that run through, run kind of in it, because it's sort of at a crossway.
Mhm.
There is a criminal syndicate activity here.
What the fuck? Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are smugglers and thieves and like a whole like huge crew of criminals operate in the area around Highgarden.
Okay.
And they run a sort of odd black market. A lot of them are just Westerosi. Some of them have connections with people from across the Narrow Sea, but it's mostly like Westerosi kind of Western Coast stuff.
Mhm.
A lot of people from like the Westerlands and places like that. And Tills tells you a good amount of them are landlocked Ironborn.
Okay.
He's like, you gotta kind of be careful. They, like they do a lot of shit around here, and they however, they can get you some stuff that maybe you're not supposed to be able to get. But yeah, so they run a sort of black market here.
Like what kind? Like fucking like poisons and shit, or like
yeah.
just okay.
I mean, poisons for sure, but
Mhm.
also just like, some things that are supposed to be shipped to the personal apartments of the Tyrells that fall off a cart.
I see. Fall off the back of the van, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like the
Okay.
things the Tyrells will never miss. Like, and they sell them at a different price,
Yet another 14-karat gold apple.
Yeah, stuff like that.
A crate full of gold leaf.
Essentially. But they're literally they're the whole group, they have a name.
Mhm.
They're called the Iron Road, is what they call themselves.
Okay.
And Tills kind of just tells you about them. Like, they don't drink here. Like, this is our space, sort of.
Mhm.
But this is like people who drink that work for the Tyrells, and the place smells of testosterone. Even though it's called the Swan's Pond, it is full of just fighting men who like to drink.
Mhm.
I imagine you get to know Natira Swan a little bit, who is the madam of the house. She is a very short but very stocky woman.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, not Natira Swan. My bad. I think Natira Rivers is.
Gotcha.
She's a lady bastard like you,
Mhm.
from the Riverlands. However, she dresses very well, but has the demeanor of someone more along the lines of like a mercenary, or like a Whitechapel madam almost. But she's hard enough to serve these men, essentially, and have them respect her. So things go fairly well for you. But yeah, you sort of gain an in with this mercenary company, the Emerald Axes, through your buddy Tills, who, according to him, is not nobody in the mercenary company. They don't really do ranks, but he's essentially like, he's got his own men, which is why he drinks here instead of the swill down at like where the base guards drink. He is like the more than enough coin to spend here.
Nice.
So is there anything that you particularly wanted to accomplish in the 2 years besides what you're already doing?
I would like to keep basically in touch with the people I've already made some connections with. So like I write a lot to Orton.
Okay.
Like the first letter that I send to him is, "You saved my life, thank you."
Excellent.
Thanks very much, and just go from there.
Mhm.
I do send periodic ravens to Lord Silas, but they're more along the lines of just like thinking of death yet? No.
Yeah.
Cool.
No. Cool.
Okay. Still
Absolutely.
still here, bud. You doing okay up there?
Absolutely.
Feeling all right? I would kind of like to Mary hush. Mariella said that that Garland can make use of me whenever, and I would absolutely love to try to
Yeah.
fight with Garland.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would absolutely love to try and beat the shit out of him.
Mhm.
But I also think that I also think that I just like Lady Marjorie.
Mhm.
And just because
Yeah.
because wherever Mariella is, I tend to be also, unless I'm
Yeah.
strictly forbidden.
Mhm.
And it's just like sneaking her things from the kitchens and things.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, Lady Marjorie. Oh, you definitely don't have to. She is on. Unlike Tisea and like Garrick, who are sort of on like they're spoiled, but they're like kept in line. Lady Marjorie is literally spoiled. She can literally eat or go to bed whenever she wants. So like there is
God.
no fucking rules for her.
Mhm.
So she's just like, I would like a cherry pie, like in the middle of the fucking night. Like, very well, wake the cook, like, and just
Oh Jesus.
yeah, like you don't even need to because she literally has only privilege.
Yeah. But also like making her the offer if she would like to watch me practice my knife work, then she can.
yeah, she
as well.
doesn't seem that interested in any of the martial stuff. However, she does talk to you, like on occasion tangentially, and especially sometimes when she's doing work assignment, she's just like, Naimora, can you name southern Dornish houses? And which you can, you do have that ability.
Mhm.
She definitely seems to like ask you a bit about that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll tell her a little bit about when I was in Dorne.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yes, you can absolutely spar against Garland. Kind of it's maybe after like the first year that kind of starts happening. And you definitely notice, like you saw this guy, when he was younger and he was like jousting and he was like, hey, he's pretty good. But like, you're a badass. But it does get to a point where like it goes a little less from sparring to just sprawl fighting like with him because his martial powers literally shoots over the roof in over 2 years.
Just on the ground, just wrestling and punching each other in the face.
Well, a little bit, but it's more like you stay you're in the training grounds, you like have your weapons out, and then it like cuts to like 5 minutes later where you're halfway across the other side of the hall, and you've like thrown a vase at him at this point, where you're just kind of sprawling all over because the kid can fucking fight.
Yeah, I'd love to get to know him a little bit better, just through the intimate knowledge of fighting each other and just throwing dust in each other's eyes. And...
Yeah, he definitely seems grateful to Mariella and you, seeing as you know Dornish spear techniques, and he goes, "Good, I want to know how to fight against those." He never seems to really make a comment of your Dornish heritage or the fact that you're a lady knight. But you have heard him talk about his politics and his belief, and he definitely seems to have very little faith in an extended Baratheon dynasty. He says he just doesn't have the loyalty of like he just has the power essentially at this point, and he's like not very shy about letting people know he thinks about that.
Yeah, I got questions too, bud, but I can't say anything about it. So
yeah, and he like again, he was like maybe like 5'9" when you first meet him, and he shoots up over the 2 years. He's to shorter than you to much taller than you.
Disgusting. Absolutely
Mhm.
disgusting.
And due to the long time he spends outside, unlike almost every other Tyrell you meet, he actually has like a little bit of a healthy tan compared to like all of his siblings who are just ghost white, like sheltered children.
And then the only other thing other than trying not to get involved in politics here is that I do take up Cedric and Nero, this was Nero, I think, who asked me to do this.
Yeah.
To just beat the shit out of anybody who spars with me.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Absolutely anybody.
So you let it be known you will take any and all comers?
Yes.
Excellent. Good to know.
And if they beat me, then that's also fantastic.
All right, good to know. I'm gonna make a note of that.
And
right
this is
now.
why you have Milk of the Poppy.
Milk of the Poppy. You also notice that House Tyrell does have a main maester, but they also have technically a total of 5 maesters.
I'm sure I get to know them very well.
You get to know one who is one of the younger ones. His name is Seamus. Maester Seamus. He is around your. He's like a little younger than you, and has like a chin strap beard and ginger hair. And he has 2 links.
Yeah.
2 right here.
Every couple of days, go up to Maester Seamus. Hey, Maester Seamus, can I have some more icy hot, please? Thank you.
Yeah, just like I have broken another finger. Like, okay. Absolutely.
But I keep the Milk of the Poppy that Thorsten gave me, and I do not use it unless it's for emergencies.
Excellent.
'Cause it
So
was from him.
I would very much now like you to roll 1d6, please.
I will. 3.
3. Okay. I would like you to make another 1d6.
6.
Okay. Wow. House Weirlight increases their influence another 3.
Oh, shit.
And their power another 6. As
Holy
not
fuck.
yeah. As knowledge of the martial. Yes.
I'm so
That's
happy
what-
I set up your play date. Yay!
Excellent. More men come to swear themselves to House Weirlight. Excellent.
Excellent. People I beat the shit out of.
Indeed. Excellently done. I would now like to move on to Tedric. Hello, Tedric.
Hello.
How are you?
Recovering.
Recovering, and I understand. 2 of your children are gone within a few weeks of each other.
Yeah.
But you still have 4 others.
So many more.
Yeah. So you're good. So I do understand you told me that in the beginning weeks you clear out that bandit camp.
Yes.
Excellent. So before we get in, let's get you a house roll going, my man.
All right. Status stewardship, I'm assuming?
Yes. So this is going to go a lot quicker because we got our High Garden people, all the new information out of the way.
All right.
26. Excellent. And then we have.
Does Clarissa's bonuses add in?
So this is a little different, but
Okay.
essentially,
Is it still +5 or is it a different number?
it's a different number.
Okay.
Okay, so we have wow. Well, it's only there's only really one bad option, and unfortunately, you went past it. So
Yay.
yeah, this is growth. Yeah.
Awesome.
You begin to start to clear up your lands a bit. You clear the bandit camp very easily. You don't lose any men. They weren't really expecting to be raided. They thought they were pretty well hidden, but due to the your prisoner, you have found out its location. So over the 2 years, kind of, you kind of just, you're maintaining your lands, you're doing your lordly work, but it comes to your attention, especially more in like investigation into the bandits, that you are informed after a certain point. Lord Asterwood comes to call on you, your bannerman, and he tells you that a bandit army has assembled on the Akelands, made up of what are they called? There's a specific deserters. There it is. Deserters from the War of the Usurper. They seem to be deserters from specifically from like your enemy forces. The ones that you lost to, who they technically won the war, but apparently they believe they did not get any compensation for like fighting and dying in the Nobleman's War, so they all sort of united, and they have been harassing the Akelands to a degree, and he is requesting your aid as you are his liege lord.
Of course. You will have my sword and my army.
All right. So it, of course, takes some time to ready yourself for war, but you are essentially it is because you will begin to assemble your forces, muster your men. You don't really have a standing army; you have to muster it. Mustering. The Akeland scouts tell you they have a very strong and a large force. They seemingly have taken over a sort of abandoned lord's keep, and have been using it as their sort of base to roll out from there. And they are led by a man known as Flint.
It's that guy again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about how long they have been preparing?
He goes, they've been growing fat on raiding and land taking for several years now, but their station in the Akelands is a little more recent. In the past 2 years or so, they've been mostly, it just seemed like random bandit activity until more organized strikes became more and more apparent. He tells you of like how he put men on it, how he's been kind of repelling assaults to his town until the point where they began to overwhelm them. He now feels it is necessary for him to come to you for aid.
All right. Well, you've got my aid, so.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you begin to muster your men, and you.
What do we know on this bandit by the name of Flint?
Not much. However, we do know he carries a blade with antlers, meaning he was someone regarded well among the Baratheon army. It's just well identified that people have noticed his sword has like antlers on it. So he was and usually those are only given to like decorated officers and stuff. Usually,
either he's an ex-decorated officer, or he stole it.
One of the two, yes.
But
Uh,
judging that he is the leader of the bandits, I would
Mhm.
assume the former.
Perhaps, but they do. He does find out in the kind of months you are preparing that Flint seems to believe he is policing the Reach in the name of the king. Because the Reach is apparently a land of traitors.
Like himself.
Vivian just taking her earrings off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he obviously seems pro Baratheon, but obviously he is still a bandit leader, a deserter of some kind.
All right.
But they are all veterans of the war. None of them are like green or fresh men. They are all veterans. So there
is that.
There is in fact that, and so they're just. It's mainly just the 2 years you spend is in preparation of war, but also having to sort of. It's not really your job. It's more Vivienne's and Clarissa's, but not letting it super known for the whole Reach that you have to. That there's a massive problem. It's more like, oh, yep, some bandits.
It's fine, just a few bandits.
Mm-hmm.
Easily handled.
Easily handled. So, my lord Tedric, as we come back from the 2 years, that's kind of what we'll be starting and getting into. Tedric, is you sort of arriving in the Achelands with your men to essentially fortify it and use it as your mustering base to with your skirmishes with Flint's company.
All right.
Yes. So I would very much like you, Tedric, to make a D6 roll, please.
D6.
Mm-hmm. 3. All right, and one more. 5. All right, Tedric, you may choose where those numbers go.
Oh, in our
stats?
That's
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we at?
They are pinned.
Oh, so you've been
You've
updating
been
them.
updating him as they...
No, not with these new numbers that we're collecting. But
Yeah.
it's like, regardless, other than influence and wealth, it's like we're just about to tip over into a new influence tier, but it's not going to super affect us. But like everything else, for the most part.
Yeah, so you're in low 60s for your influence now, and your wealth is in the like upper 50s essentially.
Yeah, and power is in upper 60s, which is ridiculous.
It is. Yes, it's very awesome.
Okay, I will put 3 into power.
Okay.
And 5 into law.
Oh, to show that you're driving the bandits back. I like it.
Nice.
I like it. Very nice.
Okay, so what was that again for notes purposes?
3 into power, 4 into law.
5.
Excuse me, 5 into law. My bad.
5 into law. Okay.
My brain. Which means our power is at, I believe,
ridiculous. So it's a total plus 9 to that thing. So 71.
Yeah, 71. Yeah.
Next year.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. So, very nice. Mustering, and while Tedric is mustering and reining in his command of his own lands, Vivienne, the lady of the house,
Yes.
very much would like to make a roll with you.
Okay. So I do not have stewardship.
Mm-hmm. It will be just your status roll.
Okay.
But you can apply a destiny die
if you
would
wish
like.
to make a bonus
Okay. It doesn't get rid of my
No.
okay.
You're just
yeah,
using
then I'll
it,
go
you're
ahead.
not burning it.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and use it then.
Mhm.
If I remember how to read. There we go. Okay, so it's under status.
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, 1 bonus die for that. All right, here we go. Ooh,
Okay.
both ones.
So 5 plus 2. Yeah, Jesus.
Did I get the one bad one?
No, another growth.
Oh,
Yeah, dang. Okay, sure. Doing real well for you guys so far. Yeah, so Vivienne, what have you been trying in the first half of the time skip? What have you been trying to accomplish?
So I would like to send a missive to Cassandra because she would be my
Mhm.
choice for the Mountains of the Moon for
Sure.
the Wise of Westeros thing I'm building up.
Mhm.
I would also like to like deepen our relationships with the other high houses because I know
Mhm.
the minor houses don't like us, but the high houses do of the Reach.
Sure. So Tarly and Ashford.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
And then if I could figure out about what possibly Baelor Hightower was hinting at, or maybe try to garner. I'm not sure if he's up for a different kind of
So I will say, Delilah basically is like, if we're starting our thing, she doesn't want Baelor involved.
Right. No, I just want to know what Baelor was talking about because I want I'm not
Mhm.
inviting Baelor into the thing. I just want to know what he's up to so I can possibly worm my way. Like, am I not allowed to figure out what he's up to? Because then I could use that for us.
Right, you can try and figure out, but I will say, because there is no marriage between your families, he is not going to invite you into that anymore.
Okay.
He seems because that whole thing was like really fast.
Mhm.
It rolled him a bit, and seemingly something else has sort of drawn his attention. Now, your attempt to still find out what that's about, you can definitely do that.
Okay, then that's what I was trying to get at. I'm not trying to like invite him into the whole
Yeah, absolutely.
thing.
Cool. So hold on. There's another character. Oh my gosh. I thought I got. Did I not get it out? I did not. I am the worst. One second. Where are you, you bastards? There you are.
We don't approve of you calling yourself names. Don't do it.
True.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. They were. All right. So, Delilah brings in to represent the Riverlands, Lady Eve Tullison,
Okay.
Dunstan's mom,
Okay.
who she's like, no, she's younger than us, but she knows what's up
Okay.
because she had Dunstan real young.
Mm-hmm.
Some people found it uncomfortably young, but
Okay. Cool. Sorry, just writing the name down.
well, she's younger. Sorry, she's younger than Delilah. You're around her age, actually.
Gotcha.
But Delilah is much older than you. She's in her like mid to late 40s.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So far with your growth, you have Cassandra, Delilah, and Eve Tullison to sort of make a little quad of the Reach, Mountains of the Moon, Riverlands, and Westerlands. The only thing you're the kind of missing, of course, is the Stormlands and the Crownlands.
Okay.
Nobody really cares a ton about, like, if you want to, you can. But so far, no one's were like, Dawn, no, who cares? Iron Islands, who cares? The North,
no.
who cares?
Who cares? Yeah. Okay, so I'll work on. So that'll be something to work on.
Yeah. Yeah, but Eve is very excited. Also, she trusts your house due to the help you already gave, and the
Yeah.
fact that her niece is your steward.
Yeah. Twofold.
And Cassandra has currently they're training Yaboy.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that. They know Garrick will have a certain loyalty to Richard because of that. So they're pretty cool with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So so far, yeah, things are going well. Now in the second half, however, you of course hear apparently from Claude and small secret reports from Allison that Mariella is doing great.
Of course, my baby.
She's doing well. And seemingly Nymora has also like made connections and is also doing well. Yeah, it seems like a good time.
You want poison? You want poisons? Do you want random jewelry from the Tyrell house?
Yes.
You want people selling you things painted to look like petrified dragon eggs? We got them.
5 boxes full of gold leaf? Do it.
It's the equivalent of some guy opening his trunk with a bunch of VCRs and stereos. Like, what is happening?
The real janky DVD cases.
Mhm.
Yes.
At one point, Nymora, a dude offers. He's like, "You want to buy a dragon skull?" And you're like, "What?" And he opens it, and there's a real ass dragon skull about like this big in like a box. He's like, I got dragon skulls. I can get you.
Jesus,
What
the fuck?
like, I can get you.
Suspect.
Like, what do you prefer? Like what? Like a wing? I can get you a wing.
I don't think that's real. So I don't think that's real. I think dragons were bigger than that.
He goes, not at the end. They weren't. The Targaryens breeded them into basically dogs.
You know what? I don't know enough about dragons to dispute it, but it seems wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But in the second half, Vivian, your Tedric begins settling to go to war on your lands against bandit incursion. And you were sort of left to maintain the with the people and outward houses that your house is still strong, still mighty, and that your husband is merely taking care of a nuisance.
Nothing to concern yourself about.
And so far, you do a pretty good job for the 2 years. Part of me was hoping you rolled something bad so I could, but I can't.
We got a couple
all
more
right.
people. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right, Vivian, roll a d6, please.
Okie dokie.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
The full gamut.
Nice.
All right, Vivian.
Yeah.
For what you have done, tell me where those go.
Okay. What makes the most sense?
So to help you with the pinned numbers, it's a total of add 4 to the influence that's there, add 4 to the wealth that is there, add 9 to the power, and add 5 to the law.
Okay.
Yeah, but those can literally go anywhere.
Okay. I would like to put the 6 to defense.
Okay. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'll toss the 1 into influence.
Okay.
At least,
Okay.
because at least that's what makes the most sense to
You're
me.
gaining friends. It makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gaining friends, fortifying with words, yes.
Indeed. Excellent. All right. Well, Lord and Lady Weirlight, some troubles have arisen, but so far things are looking Okay. Now to the air. Hello, Henrik.
Hello.
Uh,
Glad I got back in time. Yes.
I very much would like you to make a roll for me.
And
Very
remember,
well.
you can add a destiny die as a bonus thing if you would like.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Yes. Hopefully, a good roll. Stats check.
Well, I don't think you can use a destiny die
Yeah,
to
you
fully re-roll it. It's just
Oh,
adding it
yeah.
to adding
Yeah,
a
to
bonus
add.
die.
Go to your roll.
Right.
You may add the die.
Can I do it after I roll?
No.
Okay.
Just like if you do the Dropbox from status, you can just put like one bonus dice.
Sure, I've got a couple. Yeah, I'm not really doing it right now. Sure, I can use them. No,
Okay.
I'll add next week. Oh.
$14. Okay. Alrighty.
Same as Vivian's.
Yeah, but he's got a different bonus. So that is so. Okay.
Dun, dun.
Don't. Sorry, Howard, don't like that when you do this to me.
Mm-hmm.
God,
He's clever. She's like blood magic, blood magic.
Well,
No,
that's only if it's cursed.
It's not
We'll
curse.
find out.
It's not curse. It is decline.
Fine. Fuck.
Ooh.
Kind of makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So, Henrik, you have accepted your role in that you are going to marry Ashella Ashford, as it was dictated by your parents for the unforeseen consequences of your actions during your birthday celebration. Now, is there something you wished to accomplish over the 2 years?
Yes, I think Henrik's been pretty busy. I know I didn't send any of this to you earlier, so I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. That's fine. No, this is the time.
Mostly, what I've been trying to do is help our newly landed knight with his land. I think I really want to help. I want to like learn the best way I can, like how to, I guess, build a house from the ground up, because ours is sort of like everything in our house has mostly been taken care of, and I know my father and parents are busy with the whole bandit thing going on right now. I was like, all right, so I need to figure some stuff out on my own.
You're trying to spend some time with Sir Jaren?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to say no. But yeah, no, I mean, the keep, of course, is being built, but they have like these temporary wooden manor home that's built fairly quickly. It's very nice. And there's fields and other farms. He's already begun to like make use of his land and what he wants to do with it. But yeah, you can absolutely spend some time with Sir Jaren. I mean, there's not really much for you to do because his land is so minuscule that he can look out his door and be like, Janet to the left.
There we go. But I have another reason for doing this, and it's also, and since I guess I can go back to my house, is because the last time I spoke to Clarissa, she had the very foreboding message to me after I had my incident on the roof.
Yep.
So I think mostly I am going to Sir Jaren's place, but also I'm mostly just shadowing Clarissa because that was weird, and I'm kind of curious about what else she knows, and the idea of her leaving and kind of like, oh, cool, we might be losing our steward for a bit, who has a lot of stuff she knows about our family and things that involve us. So kind of want to be around her.
She's not leaving yet.
Yeah, not yet, but I think I'm using that time as much as I can to kind of shadow.
All right, cool. So you're trying to. Well, she definitely spends a lot of time at the keep, but there's a back and forth situation. We don't really know the full extent of Clarissa at the moment, So we'll make note of that. Anything else?
Yes, I think I've been like, well, simple stuff. Like I've been training a lot more with Sir Cedric when I am at our heath and everything. And I guess with Sir Duran if he has time. He's also a knight and everything in focus training. I'm doing what Nymora said, trying to practice more with my spear, even though I don't like it as much, and trying to get a grip on my new sword, which I have named. Yeah, I know. Oh, do you guys want to know what my sword's name is?
Yes, please.
Oh, sorry.
It's just gonna be a cliffhanger. It's like, yeah, it's named.
Yeah, it has a name.
We never
Well,
learned what the name was.
I liked both the suggestions that our two players throughout, and so I decided to go full edgelord and call it Bloodthorn.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Like
Bloodthorn, the
Yes.
best. Excellent. It has a
Great.
name.
Mm-hmm. Doing that, besides training, I also think a small thing. I'm gonna spend some time with Tisea with teaching her how to actually ride a horse because Garrick's not here anymore, and that was mentioned. So
Absolutely.
yeah, introduce her to this cult of horse loving that our family has started and keep it going strong.
Excellent. Anything else?
Yes. I was saying, God, I don't forget this. So I think couple months into the first year, as myself and Mariella are writing correspondence, I am keeping up with writing to my siblings, to Garrick, asking how he's doing and everything as training's going, and to Mari. And I think message Erin, she said she would eventually tell me
That Ashella is, yeah.
I think knowing that I would actually try to write a letter and offer a correspond, like maybe a correspondence with her, like writing some letters between me and her, if she accepted and was open to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I probably would be like, let me see if she is receptive to letters, but like you have inquired if you have
I would
permission.
go through Mari first, but
Sure.
I would like to start a letter correspondence with Ashella.
Yeah, okay. So you definitely start that. Like Ashella's return letters are very few and far between, and they're usually very short. However, after about a year, more talks have been had between the Ashfords and the Weirlights, and it is time for you to be seen, courting Ashella. So you now have the duty to ride to Highgarden and ask Mace Tyrell if you can go on a walk with Ashella. Or sit in a room with her, essentially, because he is currently her guardian at the moment.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Great 3-day journey for that 2-hour walk I get with Ashella. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yep. During this time, you of course can say hello to your sister, but it is highly encouraged that you need to be seen more with Ashella. And by highly encouraged, I mean these were the direct words of Lord Ashford, who was, of course, sent to both Tedric and Vivian and you, like different letters.
Yeah, with the same general meaning.
Yeah.
Got it.
One might have been more threatening than the others.
Sure. Yeah. I wonder who that could have been.
In tone, maybe.
We got it. Yeah. Message received. I will do so occasionally. When it's appropriate. Take a 3-day ride.
To go on a ride, or to have tea, or to have a walk, or something along those lines. Yes. Of course, you're allowed to stay there a number of days, and you are expected to sort of see Ashella. However, because you got decline, there is a time where she's kind of quiet on your walks and just sort of nods. She's very it's obvious to you that she's like upset with you. When you're in a more public space, she like holds your arm and stuff.
Just have played
And-
the game. You get it.
Yeah, she does. But there is one day where you're walking, and you've both been a little quiet for a bit, and she kind of goes, "Was this situation truly better than my offer?" That the thought that you couldn't be indebted to a woman was so horrific that you would rather throw away your entire future and mine. Her arm is still like in yours as you walk.
Mhm. Yeah, very tightly. Yeah.
Do you say anything?
I do not. It makes much of a difference now. I will still be indebted to you.
Oh. No, we are both in debt. Like I will say to you, Henrik, I hope you enjoy this decision, because as of now, as I see it, the only joy I'm going to get out of this for siding myself over to the boy who humiliated me, and a man's reasoning that a punishment for the man who besmirches honor is to marry that woman. She rolls her eyes intensely. The only joy I'm going to get is out of running your lands well, gaining the affection of your people, listening to their needs. I will treat your siblings as they are my own. I will treat everyone in Theolden Hall as family. But I will make your life a living hell. And when we do have children, I will teach them to hate you for what you did. And I will merely tell them the truth. So I hope you are happy with this decision. And sure, I suppose if you dislike this, you can beat me or do whatever you wish. I don't care. Because as the man I know you to be now, she just kind of shakes her head. And she then like stops you both walking, reaches over and like picks a flower from the garden you're walking, and she puts it in your hair. And some people at a distance are like, "Oh." And she weaves it into your hair very, very delicately. Not looking at you, but just looking at what she's doing. And she like then looks at you and goes, no. She looks at you and goes, I thought for just a fleeting moment you were different. Like, I suppose I should thank you for waking me from a girl's dream. She smiles at you very affectionately. And she will like re-grab your arm and continue the walk. Do you say anything?
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that. Jesus. Fool think that my actions do not entrap us both in a situation we do not want to be in, and one that you find yourself so appalled by now, and because solely of my doing, and who you see me as now. Don't mean I'll change your perception of me from what you saw then and how I treated you. The only excuse I could give myself was I was still a boy pretending to be a man, and I'm still trying to become a man worthy of this title, my family plans. You have every right to hate me. Like I said, most people I've met in my unintentional, still hurtful has every right at me. If that is your wish, then I understand it. Worse than that. And I know you. What my sister has told me, you will be a excellent lady at running Theolden Hall. And if your wish is for me not to be in their life, I do not wish for that to be the case. Could find oh shit, sorry. You could find in your heart some reason to have affection for me, not after what I did, but there could be some understanding of this. At least some form of respect. I do have that for you. Truly, just to see what you have done and how you continue to be truthfully about who I am and what my place is and what I should be. And with everyone here, Ash, I'm going to do that very chaste kiss to the hand, because when everyone's around and everything's like,
Yeah,
try to continue the action.
Sure, absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, so I definitely got most of that.
Sorry if I was cutting out in and out again.
No, not really. It's just a little bit. But I also just have bad hearing. But
It's okay, I mumble a lot too. But yes.
it's okay. But so I got like the gist, but I think I might have heard it, but I don't know if did you at any point say that you were going to like try and like win her respect and affection? Did I hear that right?
I did, yeah. My goal was like, I mentioned how like I didn't expect her to return that, but I was going to try to gain some sort of respect that we could have for each other. I was like, I know you probably won't love me. That's fine. You don't have any reason to, but I try to prove myself to you, and so we can have some sort of understanding and respectful partnership. That's okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, then she won't say anything to that then. Yeah. I think upon saying that, she goes, "Well, I'm very flattered to hear you will be willing to do the bare minimum." And kind of go on with your walk. Okay. Excellent. Now, this whole war business.
Yeah.
Tedric, are you bringing your heir in on this, or are you keeping him behind out of this?
Such a tough decision.
I mean, Henrik can also voice his own decisions as he is a full man. So if I mean, it is the Lord's say, but is this something?
I mean, with him
you
having
want...
to go to Highgarden.
Mm-hmm. Right, but war is a different beast, right? So that's why I was asking Henrik, is this something you would bring up with your father? Be like I want to help defend our lands, or you I'll keep the the keep safe. What is Henrik's thought on that?
Henrik kind of takes a step back for this one, I think.
Okay.
He's going to voice both opinions, hey, I could, if you wish me to, I would assist in the battle with you, Father. He knows I can fight, been with him in battle before. However, he also knows that someone should stay, and just the worst case scenario, someone needs to be at our lands, I can be there. So I really just very listening to my parents. This one.
Okay. All right, cool. So
I'll leave him at the keep.
All right, so Henrik, you are now essentially manning the keep with Nero.
I mean, essentially, he's going to have to learn how to do it someday.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, cool. Excellent. So, Henrik, my boy, please roll a d6.
I'm going to die.
Okay. Oh boy. My life today.
Yes, Tedric, your insane prowess will definitely mean you die to a bunch of deserters.
Sure.
And then I would very much like another d6 from you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. -4 from influence. Just for the sake of the saved scandal, essentially. And let's see, that is -5 from wealth. Due to the sort of nature of just what has been going on. Up and downs, as it were.
Okay.
That could have been worse.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Luckily, we'd already gained enough where it's almost break even on both of them.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so I would very much like to take a quick break, and then we're going to go right into Clarissa and Thorsten, and see probably the weirder part of this. Get a drink, go to the bathroom, relieve yourself, prepare yourself for what
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
coming. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. And be back in just a few minutes.